the Riot podcast. Your favorite podcast, I hope.
And now that the gang is back together again.
Yeah, reunited.
Welcome back, Isaiah.
Is that
Hey,
your
everybody.
catchphrase?
What?
When you go boom.
I got a bunch of them.
I think
That's more of
you're
one of
trying
my
to
sound
make
effects.
that your
There it is.
catchphrase.
That's more of my sound effects. I'm waiting for you to put the sound effects in.
Yeah.
And so until
It's
you
your
do
job.
that,
It's your job.
you said you were gonna do it.
I said I was going to do segment intro.
You said you were gonna do it. You literally told me. I don't even have access to
I gave it. I
You
emailed
never
it to
emailed
you.
that to
Okay,
me.
wait.
I did.
I was in a meeting the other day, and someone was like, "Hey, are they putting in sound effects? Because they
Yeah.
were hoping that they'd be in soon." And I didn't have the heart to tell them that there was nothing there yet. So I was like, "Yeah, some are," and I was counting your boom.
You're like, yeah, we're using some. You haven't heard them on the show.
Yeah.
We're working on it, but obviously we need
Some
to
miscommunication
do some
there.
more work on it.
We need some more
Yeah.
sound effects that are not produced or given by us and our own voice.
Yeah.
Got it. We'll work on that.
We'll work on that.
Well, welcome back. Obviously, I'm sure in this podcast you'll
But-
get a bit of the trip back from Isaiah from his trip to Seattle.
Yeah, and I just want to say there's no sound effect that could replace your boom.
Oh.
There it is.
And we learned that yesterday when you
Yeah,
were
you
here.
Precisely.
did.
There was no boom yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to Seattle, had a grand old time.
Is there anything you didn't tell us in the future of somebody listening to this podcast that you need to tell us now?
I don't think so. I had a
No?
fun time. There wasn't too much to it. I hung out with my friends. I hung around the city. There was a lot of homeless people.
Yeah,
If you live in Seattle, it
it's
smells.
bad.
It smells kind of good there because there's all that water.
Uh-huh.
And so I did enjoy the water. It was a wet
The
place.
fish smell.
It rained a lot, but when it was sunny, it was very pretty.
It was nice.
But it was gloomy for the majority of the time.
Now, if you didn't have friends there, though,
I would never go.
okay.
I said if my friends move away, I'll probably never return
Never come back
to
again.
Seattle. Not that it was bad, but if I'm going to go on vacation somewhere
Yeah.
and like take a flight that's like far away, then I'm going to pick somewhere different, I
You
think.
want to go someplace warmer.
Yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
warmer, so it wouldn't be a return to city.
What was the Airbnb situation like?
It was a great Airbnb.
Yeah, it turned out well.
A real nice one. Yeah,
the
I loved it.
host leave you alone?
The host left us alone the whole time.
Nice.
There were some signs though.
Uh-oh.
A manageable amount.
Yeah, it's like it was all about like the recycle. There's a big recycling thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
me, like
Washington,
personally, I
right?
don't recycle. I'm just
Are you
joking.
just-
I'm just messing. But
I knew it.
I do recycle.
you
but
guys
there's
want to talk about recycling real quick?
yeah, we're talking about it. You think
So-
it's real?
Sometimes I don't know if I should feel bad. I've talked to myself into not feeling bad about it, but it's really hard. We go through a lot of recycling in my
Yeah.
house. We go through because my wife drinks like Coke Zero, like chain Coke Zero.
I just wish you
drinker.
would have stopped and just said my wife.
My wife drinks.
My wife drinks
My
a
wife
lot.
drinks so much. So we're
just
constantly
drinks.
just bottles everywhere.
Yeah.
And so we have to you recycle. But our recycling will fill up long before. They only pick it up once every 2 weeks.
Oh, really? You don't get every week?
Uh-huh. And the recycling container is smaller than even my dumpster.
Yeah.
And I also happen to know that we have more recycling in the United States than we're able to recycle. So we just ship it off to other countries and who knows what they do with it. So sometimes especially with cardboard, I'm like, you know what? Once it rains, this just kind of disintegrates. I'll put
So
it
you
in
just put it in the trash?
I'll just put it in the trash.
Yeah.
You think that's fine?
What you should get,
Yeah.
Eric is also a drinker.
He drinks too.
And so I got him one of those can crushers. So like
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
I've
just,
seen those.
I crush the cans.
You could just hang it because in that way,
Yeah.
like the canorama that happens every
Yes.
week.
Oh,
Is,
I've learned. We do that and still.
Yeah, still.
I use my forehead, but yeah, I do crush them.
you can use your own trash can. Like ours, we get every week, but then we have a full size recycle trash can that they give you, or you're renting because you pay for
There's
it.
also like a place where I can go and drop off recycling down the road.
Can you get money for cans, or is it
You
just
can for
nothing?
cans. Yeah, if you have enough of them. Yeah.
Here, can
yeah.
we?
I
Can
think
we?
You can.
it depends on different areas, but yeah, like
it's not much, and then you have to save all the cans for a long time for it to actually be worth it.
I'll tell you
to
what,
go.
you can have Eric's
Cans?
and with
They'll
your
donate
wives.
'em?
Yeah, then maybe you would
Between how
actually
much
give
the two of them
Yeah.
drink, you should be able to get a couple
And
dollars
do
worth.
you get more money from an energy drink like a Monster can?
course, it's
'Cause
a little
they're
bit more.
taller?
It's taller.
I mean, I've done that before. It's by weight.
Yeah,
but I just don't even know
Gotcha.
where you would do that here. So
She'll need to transition to tall boys then. To the smaller cans, I think.
she's gonna have to drink even more
I think
to
so.
make it worth my trouble, to make it worth the gas.
See, for me, I don't have recycling in my house. I don't have a bin.
Have you signed up for it?
No one's contacted me. They haven't. The recycling people haven't reached out.
You have to reach
about a
out
sign-up
to
form.
them, and you have to sign up for it. And
be like,
sometimes
hey.
you have to, pay, or it's a part of your trash.
You're telling me that I have to pay to recycle?
Well,
That seems messed
No,
up.
I think with ours,
depends where you live.
Our recycling is a part of our trash.
Yeah.
So it's all the same, which you pay for your trash.
Interesting. So yeah, for me, I don't have a recycling.
If you're
bin as
in
of
the
now.
city, it
I
should
am.
be just included.
Yeah, I'm
and
in the
you
city.
can contact you rent, right? You can contact your landlord for more details. They should have provided you with that.
Yeah, they drop off a can
Really?
or
Yeah.
a little bucket
Maybe there is
or
one
whatever
somewhere.
you
It might be in
want.
my garage or something. I don't know.
Wouldn't it be the worst if he had a recycling can
didn't
this whole
know it.
time
And I just
he's
didn't know
not
where it
used
was?
it for all the years you've lived where you live?
He's
didn't
been
know.
using it, but he's been using it for trash. And
He's
so-
like, I have it in my trash bin. I'm setting it out there. They're like, dude, seriously? I
Yeah.
can clearly tell this is not recyclables.
Well, I think I told you once before, a few doors down, this one guy was trying to throw away styrofoam and he put it in his recycling. And then when the recycle truck went by, they took it out and they threw it on their driveway because you can't obviously recycle styrofoam.
And what else is he supposed to do with it?
And they were yelling at him because the guy was
Yeah.
like, why are you throwing this out? He's like, you can't recycle that. So the guy was just trying to fill it up because his trash was full. So, all right, well, this has been recycling talk.
Recycling.
Yeah.
We're trying to help.
Yeah, one.
Actually, I feel like we're making it worse, making the earth worse.
I think that's the whole show.
That is how it goes.
Well, make sure you say hi at 877-2-RADIO-U. Enjoy the podcast today, and we hope everybody has a wonderful day.
All right. Catch you tomorrow.
Hey, guys.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
And so I have a guy in the UK who's already planned it out and dealt with it. He's already good to go.
Oh, he's already ready?
He's already
Did he diet?
ready. No, it's much too early for that.
No major workout overhauls?
Nope. Mm-mm. He skipped all of that.
What'd he do?
Well, he did what one of our mottos on the show, work smart, not hard. Instead of going through all the gyms and the diets and whatever, he just got a 6-pack tattooed onto his stomach.
Oh, to look, wow, like he looks tattooed.
Yeah.
He
it's
looks ripped.
just the same way that some people will wear the 6-pack t-shirts.
Yeah.
This guy just got that actually tattooed on his stomach so that it looks like you could be fooled
Oh, from
for
a
moment.
From a distance.
For a moment.
You'd have to be very far away.
And only if he had his shirt like if he's lifting up his shirt, which he's doing in some of these pictures, you can be fooled. If you saw him at the beach, I don't think it would work.
Well, I think because he looks pretty fit as it is. Mm-hmm. But
No, that's a tattoo.
Well, no,
I'm tricking
okay. If you
you.
look at the rest of him, the only issue is he's so much paler than the tattoo itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure it will, peel a bit and fade over time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see how this will actually look. Give it a year.
I think
I don't know if it'll hold up well.
that was the first thing I thought too. Is at some point the tattoo has to cut off, and there's no transition from tattoo to his actual skin tone.
Oh no, he needs
And
to go full body.
He needs to tan more.
He needs to tan, but then he also needs to continue the tattoo if he wants to look that ripped.
That's right. He needs to tattoo some rippling biceps onto his arms as well. And
I've seen a lot of people, like when they do a spray tan, then you can spray and contour, like not that sort of 6-pack, but just like a bit more definition.
yeah, that's an idea. That's not as permanent as what
And it's
he
not
went
as
through.
noticeable.
And do you see this? Do you see that? They have before and after pictures. So he's got he's mostly hairless there.
Yeah.
And I guess that makes sense if you're.
Well,
getting
they
a
have to
tattoo.
shave. They
You don't want
shave,
stuff
yeah.
in the way.
Yeah.
But then he's grown out just his happy trail, just the happy trail.
Well, I didn't know if they tattooed some of that on too.
That's what I was wondering.
That's
But
probably not his own hair.
you don't think so? He got a tattoo, the happy trail. You can
Listen,
just grow that.
He is serious about this.
I don't understand that part. I've talked to Isaiah about that before. About if you're going hair removal, you got to go. It's all or nothing. You don't just leave
A little
just the
bit
little
there.
trail between
Well,
your belly button and below.
Took him 2 days though. I mean, he says summer body ready.
It's weird. I don't see this guy's name. All I see is the tattoo artist who put in a lot of work on this, and that wouldn't be easy. So you got to give the tattoo artist Dean Gunther some credit. I guess he's the guy to go to if you want to skip the gym
and just have
and
this
just
look.
spend 2 days getting a 6-pack tattoo on you.
He needs to get like the rest of himself in ink.
He definitely
needs
does.
to fix the rest of it.
It does not match up if he wants to make it believable. And still, the ruse will be up the first time somebody sees your 6-pack jiggle. But at least from a distance,
Good
you can
for
fool a few
him.
people. Yeah, I still like the idea.
Well, even if it's not, I think it's kind of more of a joke also. Like it's not, he can't be serious about that.
He's turned his entire rest of his life into a joke.
He's
Just like
committed
me.
to it.
Just like me.
Your For You page would be a lot more fun if it had Hudson, Nikki, and Isaiah. Follow at RadioU Official on TikTok. The Riot. Radio U.
I didn't know this was going to happen yesterday when we talked about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that's coming out. We talked about how the cast had been revealed.
Yeah.
The Ninja Turtles are actually voiced by actual teenagers, so you probably haven't heard of them. But everybody else in the movie is a name you might be familiar with. Paul Rudd, Ice Cube, Giancarlo Esposito, Rose Byrne. If there's somebody you've heard of. And but then shortly after we talked about it, we get a whole new trailer for it.
Oh, now you can see the turtles.
Now we can actually see what to expect when the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Mutant Mayhem, comes out later this year. Did you get to watch it?
I'm watching it now.
How can you hear what they're saying?
I don't need to.
You do need to
I
hear
do
it.
not need to hear it.
You do need to
It's
hear
enough
it.
to
It's
just see
animated,
it.
so
I
you need to
just-
know. You won't know who's voicing who.
I'm fine with not
You
knowing.
know what they sound like.
At least this gives me an idea of the animation style.
Which is totally different, isn't it?
It is.
Is that what-
it's not what I thought it was going to be.
No,
It is like claymation stuff.
I thought it was going to be, I was expecting a live action like CGI mix where the turtles would be CGI, but then you'd actually see some human playing a human role. But this is animated. I compare it to, some say it looks like Into the Spider-Verse.
Sure.
Or Mitchell's and the Machines, which are made by the same people. This is not made by those people, but it kind of has that like
Vibe to it.
Yeah, it kind of has that vibe, and it definitely looks like it has a it's kind of a gritty 90s style to it too.
So
it's
there's
just
no-
got a vibe.
There's no live action stuff.
No, it's
No?
all cartoon.
All right. we were
All
wrong.
cartoon, and it looks kind of fun. The turtles are like, they're really embracing that the turtles are teenagers. They're voiced by teenagers. One of them has braces. I don't think that's in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That
I don't
wasn't
remember
covered.
that part. I think one of them may not have gone through puberty based off of the voices, which you can't pick up because you're not listening to it.
I don't need to hear it. It's
you
fine.
do need to hear it.
Here, wait, I'll hit pause when we're done talking about it. I'll finish the rest of it.
Well, then what's the point?
I have 15 seconds left. That's plenty of time to get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trailer done with.
Yeah, but I don't know if it exactly makes me definite that I need to go to the theaters to watch it when it drops on August 4th. But
I feel like it's now skewed a bit younger than I thought it was when you talked about it yesterday.
yeah,
Because I thought, oh, okay, well, they're going to, again, have more of a live action feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's completely animated, I don't know.
it feels again more like I would compare it more to the Spider-Verse movie, which was it kind of was for everybody, but it definitely wasn't geared towards adults.
Sure.
And that's how Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this new movie, feels. It's definitely not explicitly or primarily for adults. It's probably parents taking their kids
Sometimes
to the theater.
those are the tough ones because it's just a confusing, who is this for?
Because then you're there and you're like, should I be here? Everyone else has a child.
Bring your
but-
doggy.
Yeah, I'll just borrow a child
Sure.
just so I don't feel out of
That's
place.
even worse.
Nobody
does-
will question though.
No, they'll question like,
No,
I'm
they-
sorry, and then they find out you borrowed one just to come see the movie.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Finally get to hear about Isaiah's trip. He's returned from Seattle. You did go, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't you missed your flight and then you're
Good to
like,
check that
well,
out.
I already took Monday off anyway.
Well,
so
I for sure would have not come in on Monday if I already took it off.
I'm with you on that. No questions on that.
Did you like Seattle?
It was fun. It was
Yeah.
really cool. It was a good time seeing my friends, so I was real excited.
Now, wait, one could look into that, seeing your friends, but what about seeing the city?
I thought the city was cool. I thought it was an interesting place.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of cold. It was kind of rainy, but it was nice being down by the water and whatnot. A lot of cool greenery. Overall, the trip was real fun.
Did you see a whale?
I saw 3.
3 whales.
Saw 3 whales.
Which part of the whale?
I saw the back of the whale. I didn't see a tail. I saw the little
they didn't jump out of the water?
No, they didn't do that. They do a little squirt thing.
The blowhole?
The blowhole. I saw the
Yeah.
blowhole multiple times.
That's
Well, I mean, that's the money
kind of
shot.
cool, right?
Yeah.
good.
That's the best thing. Is that the best thing about a whale?
I think so, unless
The
one
blowhole?
would
I
jump
think the
up
tail,
and-
or I think the tail would have been cool.
Isn't it crazy that that people will pay how much did you pay for that?
$100.
You paid $100 to go on the whale watching thing to
How
watch
long was it?
It was 2.5 hours.
to
That's a
see
long time.
3 blowholes. That'd be like if whales came on land. They paid $100 to come on land to see 3 people blow their nose.
Literally.
It's the same thing, right?
It is basically.
So or cough maybe because I don't know. They're clearing out their I don't know.
No, I think it would have been amazing if, you go to the whale tour, spend $100, go back on land and see the same 3 whales.
Oh, yeah, as they go by.
As they go by. It's like, hey, it's you again.
Look, it's right there.
Yeah. Or do they refund people if you don't see a whale?
No.
They don't.
No, they don't refund you.
What a great industry that would be.
You just ride a little boat out there.
Yeah.
But they do give away hot chocolate for free the whole time. All 2.5 hours. So.
How many hot chocolates did you drink?
I drank 3 hot
You got to
chocolates.
get your money's worth out of that.
I did.
You come back sick. You're like, I had $100 worth of hot chocolate.
That's more exciting than the whales. With the whale watching, was that the highlight of the trip, or did anything better happen than that?
Good question. I would say that was probably one of the coolest parts of the trip was the whale watching. I think just overall hanging out with my friends was my favorite part, just because I don't get to see them very often because they live out there. And so it was nice just relax and chill out with them and see the city. The whale watching was cool. If you went, I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
I was kind of skeptical at first if that would be something I would even want to do.
Yeah.
But they said we should do it. So I was like, yeah, we can do it. And I was happy that we did because it was really cool.
Did you get boat sick?
No, I did not. I did not get seasick. I did take a
good.
little nap on the boat, though.
Okay, that means you're
Did you miss any whales while you were napping?
I didn't miss any. It was on the way back, and I was
Okay.
tired. It was early in the morning.
'Cause hang on,
and I was
no.
real comfortable. It was real nice out there. I was actually the water was putting me to sleep. It felt so good, and so I wasn't.
believe
I
you.
wasn't
Rocked you to sleep
seasick.
like a
I was just
baby.
it was so relaxing.
Yeah.
Because
It was so
normally
relaxing.
people are like, hey, hang on, let me just close my eyes because I can't handle it
No,
anymore.
it was great. It honestly put me to sleep. Right once I got on the boat, I was like, "Whoa, this water's so relaxing right now. It's gonna put me to sleep." But the worst part of the whole thing was the flight. It was terrible.
I wanted to hear
yeah.
about the flight situation.
Oh, the flight was terrible.
There or back or both?
Both ways. I will say I took Alaska Airlines.
Yeah. Oh.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
They're
so they were
amazing.
good.
They're amazing.
So what was the problem?
Probably the
then?
best airlines. I'll say right now. That was incredible. I got 2, not 1. I got 2 drinks.
Really?
Whoa.
2 drinks. I got a Biscoff cookie. I got
Nice.
pretzels. It was incredible.
Whoa,
I got 2
fancy.
snacks and 2 drinks. I had
When you
free
say-
movies on there. They had free texting on there. Oh, it was great.
When you say 2 drinks, does that mean
they came around twice.
They filled up a little tiny thing of Coke?
No, they
twice?
gave me a can.
They gave you a
me 2
can
cans.
twice.
They gave me 2 cans.
How are they still in business?
They're incredible. I don't know what to
How
tell
can
you.
they afford?
But they were like the mini cans, but I'll give it to them. They gave me 2 cans.
They at least went through
Wow.
twice. That is impressive.
But
Yeah.
the people on the plane,
Not
just
good.
no courtesy. Are you crazy? Bringing on just smelly food twice. One person was sitting right next to me.
Oh, no.
And I wanted to be like, you need to leave.
that was it.
What is wrong with you? And that was the worst part of the flight. Once I
think-
got on the flight there, I was like, dang, something smells weird in here. Someone brought on some smelly food.
Yeah.
And I was real upset about it. But I was like, whatever, I'm far away.
Yeah.
The second flight, both times, of course, I'm middle seat because I'm cheap. And then the flight back, I am also in the middle seat. And this woman sitting right next to me had the smelliest food. The whole flight just sitting in her lap.
Do you think it was food she brought with her, or did she buy it in the airport?
She bought it in the airport.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
airport's fault. That should be
they
against the
can't-
law.
Can't fault her for that.
Well, my
no,
thing was
you can fault the airport. That's wrong.
I
They
think I'm
shouldn't
faulting
do
her for that because number one, you don't bring smelly food on a plane. If it has any smell to it at all, doesn't matter if it's a good smell, if it's a bad smell, if it smells and it's pungent, you cannot bring that on a plane. That's ridiculous. And number two, we had plenty of time in boarding because you boarded late. You couldn't have eaten it then when you were sitting there in a chair. I ate a full breakfast before I got on the plane.
I think that's what he's most upset about.
You know, our trick that we learned yesterday to get people to shut up, that wouldn't work on smelly food.
No, you should ask her to eat in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Maybe
So-
it would work. And the trick we learned yesterday was you tell people if they're being too loud, you say, excuse me, can you please keep it down? I've got a funeral in the morning. A funeral early in the morning.
So you could have said, "Do you
Oh,
mind?"
so you just
Could you take your food
away?
somewhere else? I've got a funeral in the
got
morning.
a funeral. And so I just plugged my nose in front of her face.
Yeah.
Aw, well,
So-
we're glad you're back, and
You should've-
otherwise, it feels like you had a pretty good trip.
It was a grand
Should
trip.
have just taken your shoes and socks off.
And just be like, oh, sorry. Does that
Yeah.
smell bothering
Not
you?
even apologize. Just have them out.
Rubbed a bit in the food.
Yeah.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Are you familiar with Derek Carr?
Derek Carr.
Is that a name you've ever heard before?
Probably with you guys, but do I know what he...
You think we've talked much about Derek Carr before?
Maybe?
We probably mentioned them.
Maybe mentioned in passing. I wonder if you recognize him. He's the quarterback that looks like he's always wearing eyeliner.
Oh, really? I'll have to
But
take a
he's
picture.
supposedly not.
He just has that look.
He does have that look. My wife thinks he is. I think it's just his eyes. I think he's just, why would he put on eyeliner to play football?
And you sure it's not like, because I know sometimes you do the reflective thing. It's not even
No,
that.
it's different.
Just
Definitely
actual
different.
eyeliner.
Different look.
Which, sidebar, what's up with the guys that put like one stripe of like the black on one eye, like vertically? Mm-hmm. Why
What's
do
that
they do
supposed
that?
to help
Isaiah,
with?
can you explain that
I
to
don't
me? You're a
even know why
sports
they
guy.
put him underneath. Like, why is Tom Brady doing that? We
It's
don't
supposed
know.
to like that
It's
stops
not
like
true.
the reflection from the lights, but at least that doesn't look cool. Like you're just doing this, I guess, to look cool.
I think that's
Just
it's
doing-
all to look cool.
Yeah, which I think if it's not functional, then it's dumb.
I don't
Hey,
think it's functional.
Yeah.
I will tell you, there are a lot of looks of him where it looks like he's wearing eyeliner.
Yeah, but he's not, right?
I guess he's
He's
not.
not wearing eyeliner.
I don't know.
But Derek Carr, he was.
Everybody's post is like, dude wears eyeliner.
There's
Nothing
no
wrong
way.
with that. But,
If he's always wearing eyeliner, you'd have to have one picture of him not wearing eyeliner.
well, his eyes are beautiful, so I think that's part of the reason. They
he
really
is.
pop.
He's a good-looking guy. Derek Carr was jettisoned from the Las Vegas Raiders, the team he's played for his entire career. Earlier this offseason, they kind of gave up on him. Mm-hmm. And so there's still a lot of teams that were interested in bringing Derek Carr in to be their starting quarterback. And now Derek Carr has found a new home.
Where's he going?
He's going to New Orleans.
Are the Saints good or
Meh.
They're like Derek Carr. They're fair to Midland.
Well, that's perfect. He'll fit right in.
Yeah,
well.
that's right. But shouldn't you aspire for more?
No, because if you're too good and you're going to a meh team, then you're going to be brought
Then
down.
you
Yeah.
can bring up the rest of the team.
No, you almost never can.
Derek Carr is going to make $37.5 million a year. That's what fair to Midland will get you
That works.
at quarterback in the NFL. So, Isaiah, Nikki, what are your thoughts on Derek Carr to the Saints?
Sure, why not?
I think it's solid.
Solid?
Very average across the board.
Guys, we got to be more controversial. We
Oh,
need
no, there's
We need a
nothing.
hot take.
I would say, I mean, they're
That's
just...
an awful lot of eyeliner.
yeah. It's just such an average, it's such an average team with such an average quarterback.
Maybe my
so-
hot take is that he's not wearing eyeliner.
Oh, maybe.
And I just think
Oh.
that's what he looks like.
That
That's
could
the
be.
controversial thing.
I guess I'm nicer. I feel like congratulations, you found another team. That's great.
Yeah.
I think congratulations to him. I think you want to hear my hot take? It's not that hot. It's two things can be true. One, he's better than what the Saints had. He might even be the best quarterback in their division, but he's still not that great. And so the Saints are not going to be that great.
Oh, so you're saying they're going to be average.
They might. They have a good chance
you
of
guys
making
need more
the playoffs.
controversial takes. Repeat
Yeah.
exactly what I just said.
They're gonna be okay. But I guess he's getting overpaid. I guess my hot take is they shouldn't do it. They should aspire for better. They should try to get a guy who's actually good. Go draft somebody. If I don't know if they have picks, go take a big swing. Don't go for Mr. Mediocre, Derek Carr.
Well, I mean, they're going for it.
Yeah.
So he is going to be paid $37 million a year with $100 million in guarantees.
Yeah, I think it's a safe move for them. Like, I think it's a very safe move for them to go with Derek Carr because your team isn't going to be terrible next year. You're in a bad division. And so you probably have a good enough record to where not that many people could get fired. But if you take a risk on a guy, then you're putting
Yeah.
yourself in a little bit more harm's way. A safe move for the Saints. They're definitely not trying to win at all, but I think they're trying to keep their job for now.
That's,
Can you imagine getting
what an indictment.
He gets $60 million at signing. Can you imagine that? They should be like, "Hey, has it cleared the bank yet?"
Yeah.
$60 million.
I keep checking my account. It doesn't seem like it's come through.
Wow.
I'm running a little low here.
Is-
Can you send the $60 $60 million.
I think that's a direct deposit.
Yeah.
So, good for him.
Wow. That's what being pretty mediocre gets you in the NFL as a quarterback.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Even give me the bad price.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take less than that.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Remember last week, Nikki, how Jupiter and Venus were going to kiss in the sky?
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch that?
No,
Did you
but
see
they were saying like right after dinner one night,
Yeah.
they would appear that they were much closer than they really were and that they were kissing.
Yeah, they were right up on each other, even though they were millions of miles apart.
Even though the one was like, back off.
Yeah. One's like, I did not. Yeah, didn't sign off on this. But it was an impressive sight to see, and it's still, if you go out at the right time and look up at the western sky, you should see Jupiter and Venus out there. They're further apart now, but you can still see them. They're pretty bright. But some people were really concerned about this. In Stanislaus County, California, we have a sheriff's department that had to put out a Facebook post that said, you people need to stop calling 911
It's not good if the sheriff starts with that.
on outer space. You've got to stop calling.
Were people concerned because it looked like they were so close together?
I think because they were so close together and they're so bright, I guess.
Who would even notice that? I mean, we're not looking up to notice that they were far apart.
The people in Stanislaus County, California were. The sheriff's office says if you're seeing, they have a picture with it, obviously, of the lights. And they say if you're seeing these lights in the sky, we've received multiple calls regarding it. Do not be alarmed. And NASA has said that Jupiter and Venus would appear in the western sky. So that's what you're seeing. Those bright lights aren't something else. Maybe people are calling in UFO stuff.
Or they thought it was another balloon.
Or, yeah, who
something.
knows? You're right.
I
the
bet you it
balloon
could be.
thing. People have heightened awareness. People are keeping their eyes on the sky. And so they're a little maybe paranoid and giving calls. So the sheriff's office had to say, chill out with the phone calls on outer space. We've got the stars, planets under control.
They're fine now. If you missed it, don't worry. The next time they'll be this close together will be in 2032.
Yeah. And
right around the corner.
And you couldn't be bothered to go out and look up.
I guess I just totally missed it. I always think whenever they say star stuff that you're supposed to go out early in the morning, like before the show, because we get up so early.
Yeah.
I never remember to look up because I'm always not running on time for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And for this case, though, they said your best bet would have been right after dinner, like right at sunset. And I'm also not looking outside then. So it slipped my mind.
Yeah, you got other things going on. It's fine.
Sorry, kissing planets.
It's fine.
We missed you
the
last
planets
week.
that only come around every 10 years.
You want me to still call the sheriff or something?
I think you need to practice my ritual that I do every morning when I come in to work. It's always still dark. You just take a second before you open the door. You look up at the sky.
Yeah.
You never know what you might see.
Yeah.
And if you want to take it a step further, you can listen. You look up at the sky, and then you also take a second, you listen, and you'll be amazed what you hear. All the birds singing that early in the morning.
Yeah, that's
true. It's like,
true.
what are they doing up? Why are they? They probably want to hear the show.
Their
is what I
morning
assume.
song. Yeah, they're welcoming you.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. You take a second, and in a way, all of creation is calling out, saying, the riot.
No, I think they're saying, go to bed, Hudson. Be quiet. You're disturbing us.
I wish I could go back to bed. I wish I could.
Why are you up?
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
You be the judge. You ready to play?
Yes.
All right, here's the case that we've got on our hands. We've got a newly married couple. Well, I mean, they were newly married in September 2021 when they went to Hawaii on their honeymoon, where they one of the things you do when you go to Hawaii, you got to do some snorkeling, right?
Yeah.
Get out there, see the fish and the coral and whatnot. So they went on a snorkeling adventure with the Maui Sail Company. They say that as they were out doing their snorkeling adventure, the waters got a little turbulent, a little choppy, and so they were out in the water snorkeling, and they popped back up, and the boat is gone.
The boat left them?
The boat had left them behind. They were just so into the fish that they didn't realize boat disappears. And so now they're stranded out in the ocean. They tried to signal for some help. I don't know who's going to see you out there. That's why I don't like the ocean. Because you get out, they weren't even that far from shore.
Sure.
And nobody was able to see them signaling for help. So fortunately, they were able to swim to shore eventually. That's how close they were to shore, but also that it's not like they just walked. They had to swim into shore. Now this is where it gets, this is pretty funny. They signaled in the sand. They, like you would if you were actually stranded on an island somewhere. They wrote SOS and help in the sand.
Yeah, for someone to see.
Like you're in Castaway. And then shortly thereafter, some local residents found them.
Oh, they didn't check the island first.
Alone.
Nice.
They didn't walk around like, let's find somebody.
Well, you're panicking.
Yeah, that's definitely what they did.
That's what you do at first.
They've seen movies and whatnot.
Yeah,
What
spell it
happens?
out.
You know that the husband was like, don't worry. I know what to do.
I know exactly what to do.
He started trying to make a fire with sticks, probably. So they were eventually rescued, given water, given phones by some local residents so that they could get some help from there on.
They were fatigued and dehydrated.
But they are now suing the Maui Sail Company for leaving them behind, leaving them stranded in the ocean, where they and their attorney make the case that the whole thing was disorganized, a very disorganized event, that the company failed to identify a lifeguard, didn't employ the buddy system for snorkelers.
Sure. A head count maybe when you got back on the boat.
Apparently, they took several head counts and somehow still didn't realize these two were missing.
They're not good at that.
So
Yeah,
either
clearly
they
not.
aren't good at counting or something else. So you be the judge.
They're suing for how much money?
$5 million.
$5 million?
Yeah, would you give them $5 million?
Make it
There's no
wouldn't.
way they paid $5 million to go on this
Make
tour.
it 50.
See, I would
$50?
No, 50 million.
$50 million?
They left you in the ocean.
to die. Like
They
it's game over.
left you in the ocean. They shouldn't be a tour group if they cannot manage to count people's heads when you get in the boat.
How are you supposed to find somebody if they go off in the ocean?
They didn't go off in the ocean. They were
They
allowed
did. They were snorkeling.
as the tour.
Yeah. And then
How far could they go?
I know. That's
They
even
were able
worse.
to make it back to shore.
You and I are going to disagree on this. They should, if not the $5 million, maybe close to it. But yeah, they left you
yeah,
out
for
there.
sure. And they said if they weren't like young, healthy people, they would have for sure drowned. Like they
Well,
would have
that's
just
the
drowned.
attorney saying that.
Yeah, but still, if
What
they
does he
said the
know
waters
about
were
swimming?
rough, I'll tell you this much: if my boat, if I paid you to go snorkeling and you left me out there in the middle of the water, in the middle of the ocean, I would for sure be suing you for
Yeah.
$5 million.
And you know, a lot of times they're like emotional distress. No, you had that. You
Yeah.
had that for
You
sure.
wrote SOS in the sand, like you actually thought you were gonna die.
You were saying goodbye.
Yeah.
So no, I think they should be sued.
I just think we need to hear both sides of the story. I
What's
think
the other side? We got on the boat and we didn't see you.
They
Like,
swam away. They refused to come back in the boat. Maybe they did that.
Oh no!
They said, "Hey, leave without us. Leave us here, please. Go."
I just don't know. What do you do? It's a big ocean, and if somebody swims away snorkeling and they're under the water,
Have you ever
I don't
been
know. Do
on,
your
Find 'em.
job when make sure everybody's here before you leave.
Hudson? Have you been on a snorkeling tour?
no.
Okay, so they
because
put
I'm
like,
afraid of going in the ocean because I don't want to get left behind.
They put
because it can
little-
happen so easily.
You get
even the
dive
most
buoys.
reputable of snorkeling companies do it from time to time. It looks like.
No, you get like little dive stations, like little buoys, and you kind of stay around that area. But they are supposed to count when you get back on, and everybody has a buddy.
What do you do if they count and you're not there?
Then you look out in the water and you say, "Is someone drowning? Like, where are they?"
We
You're
can't-
just like, we lost them. Maybe next time."
We can't leave until you
yeah,
find
you
the
would
person.
have somebody jump in the water and go try to find
And
the
then
drowning
you try
person.
to crowd control all these people on the boat. Oh, we're just gonna wait for Diane because we can't find her. Come on, I got others. It's a honeymoon. I got other stuff to do.
Yeah, they're probably like, "Oh my gosh, is she dead? Like, is she in the water drowning?" They're probably freaking out.
They're supposed to, like they said, they didn't have a lifeguard set up. They are supposed to have people in the water who's watching and keeping track of everybody. So remind me never to go on a snorkeling tour with you.
Hudson's like, just leave them. Like,
I
why
got
are we
other
being
things
held
to
up?
do.
What's wrong with them? They're gone, clearly.
Yeah.
They're down there somewhere. I mean, I
They're
don't
just
care.
probably having fun viewing the fish. That's what we came to do, and they don't want to come back back with the rest of the group, that's their choice.
Okay, well, there's our ideas on this.
There it
You
is.
guys, you just fell for, what's the attorney's name? Jared Washkowitz. You just buy everything he's selling.
I just like it when people make it back to shore when they go out in the water.
That's a good point.
I don't want you guys on a jury convict without hearing the other side.
Okay.
I presented the other side, and you're ignoring it. So
That wasn't the other side. You presented
It
another
was.
side that you made up, which was they didn't want to come back to the boat. They wanted to swim.
yeah, they were being obstinate, I think, is what was going on.
Okay, thank you, Hudson.
Like me. It's the riot.
Do you know them?
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow at RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
We've seen stories like this before, and I don't know why. I've had an easier time taking them seriously. But dating billboards.
Oh, yeah.
From time to time, it's always a guy.
Yeah.
Always a guy that will pay to put up a billboard in some town where the dating apps just haven't been working for him, and so he's trying to find a new method. That's what this guy's doing. A guy named Robert Siegfried. He's 43 years old, feels older than other people we've seen doing this. He's from Janesville, Wisconsin.
That means he's serious because he's ready to settle down.
You think
with
so?
The hat he's wearing with a little lady.
Yeah. The billboard says, date Robert, Wisconsin's #1 eligible bachelor, looking for a local, honest woman. And then he gives his phone number, call or text. And I do appreciate that he, if you look closely, it says with a little asterisk, don't text or drive.
Okay.
Thanks, Robert.
Because you're looking at that billboard when you're driving.
That's right. And you can't help but just whip out your phone right there.
Away.
I need to text Robert and give him a call. But he's got a look. He says he's a country boy at heart, and he's got a belt buckle. He's got a black cowboy hat.
He says he likes country music. It actually looks like he'd be a fit. What do I keep seeing the ads for? Remember that
Farmers only.
farmer dating
I don't know
show?
if Robert's a farmer, though.
Because he was just more country.
I think I don't think you get him out if he had to milk a cow, I don't think he'd know what he was doing. He just likes listening to Jason Aldean, probably.
He just likes to look. He says dating sites weren't working for him. Nothing was. So he decided to do the billboard to see if he could meet someone from that.
But it just looks like he's so comical to me. I've seen other people, and I think they really want, and I'm not saying that he doesn't want to actually find some dates from this, but I just have a hard time believing him. He refuses to take his cheap sunglasses off.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a red
What was the one
flag,
guy,
right?
the tiger guy?
Tony the Tiger?
No, Tiger King.
Tiger.
It reminds me of his glasses.
Yeah.
Not the rest of his look.
Yeah,
but
what's
just,
that guy's name? Joe Exotic.
Yeah, that sort of look.
Yeah, and some of the other stuff, he says he hasn't gotten the response he's been hoping for. He does say, this is his quote, "You'd be surprised at how many pictures I'm getting. It's crazy. It's like, oh man, next, which sounds like somebody that's not getting any text sent to him.
Yeah.
But he just says he just hasn't found the right person from this text and calls that he's been getting, even though he's been getting a lot. So I don't know. Maybe he's just got his standards are too high.
He's just trying to find someone.
He's just got a certain person in mind that may or may not be out there for him.
Now,
I don't know.
I am hoping #1 eligible bachelor, Robert, again, 43 in Wisconsin. He's a new billboard dating guy.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you use like a Google number or something because
you don't want to give out the actual number.
You don't want to have your number up there for.
That's what I was thinking. He's got to be getting a lot of spam.
Yeah, probably.
On that number. Also, we'd be remiss. Maybe this is partly why I have a hard time taking him seriously without mentioning that online court records show that Siegfried had a restraining order put in place against him for a 4-year period last year.
Oh, now,
so maybe that's why he's having trouble.
Hang on, that's
on
different.
The dating apps.
That's an onion layer. Starting to feel a little bit.
It doesn't mean that he doesn't deserve love, but it's definitely going to make it harder for him, and he's going to have to show that he's made some updates and changes to the kind of person he is.
You know, I was trying to be supportive this whole time, and then you tell me that, and you're like, well, now we have a problem.
They really bury it in the news story. It feels like what if some lady texts him and didn't read the whole story?
That's an important part.
Yeah, so I didn't want to leave that out. I think that should be known. And Robert I wonder if he realized they were going to include that when he started putting this up there and agreed to the news story.
Robert, that's a negative.
Yeah.
That is a red flag.
That might make it harder for you,
Which
Robert.
is why maybe you haven't met the right person yet.
Yeah, you might have scared him away.
Maybe you did, and you bothered her too much.
That's right.
Hudson and Isaiah seem like they know a lot about sports, yet somehow it's Nikki that always gets it right. The Riot, Radio U.
This is horrible broadcasting. I could have just totally pulled an audible on you guys, but nobody else would have to know.
No, think of yourself as the conductor, however you want to steer this.
That's right. I did just watch Tar. That rooster reminded me.
I meant like a train conductor.
Oh, okay. Nikki, I think you might have some special actually, both of you might. Isaiah, you used to be a farmer. Nikki, you used to live next to neighbors that had chickens, right?
No, I mean, I'm in the suburbs.
Yeah, but didn't you have a chicken neighbor?
No, he had like pheasants. I thought they were chickens, but they were pheasants, but they were illegal to have in our area.
See, that's what I want to ask you about. Mm-hmm. I told the story a while back where I almost missed coming into the show because my alarm, either I turned it off or slept through it or something, and then I was awoken by a rooster.
Yes.
Even though I live in a town.
Was it a real rooster or was it like in your mind?
No, it was a rooster.
You were dreaming it?
Because I've heard it. I've heard it many times since then.
So someone has a rooster in your area?
Someone has a rooster, and I didn't realize, but I heard it the other day. There's not just one rooster. Mm-hmm. There's like other chickens because I heard them clucking.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
It depends on the rules for your community.
What do I do?
Go to your Nextdoor app and just post it.
That's what I thought at first, but then that's just going to get people arguing, and it's not going to get me anywhere.
Well,
I know what most people would do is that.
You have to decide because someone's going to have to tattle, and like for mine, I didn't tattle on my neighbor, but he thought we did. But it was his other side who told on him, and like this guy does infraction after infraction of like things you're not allowed to do in our community, like bylaws and stuff. So, but yeah, you can't. In most areas, you're not allowed to have that.
That's right. That's what I'm thinking is I didn't move out in the boondocks. I moved away from that. I don't want to have to hear, and I know this might sound, that
sounds ridiculous.
This might make me sound a little.
I don't want to have to hear a chicken clucking next door.
I don't live.
Like what? They don't want to hear your dog barking all day, every day either.
That's what you sign up for when you go to a city.
Barking at the chicken.
Yeah, clearly it must be.
I think she does, and it's illegal to have a dog.
Yeah.
So what would
how
you
many
do
chickens?
if one of your neighbors starts a chicken coop?
Yeah.
And you start hearing them. I mean, the rooster, clearly, our show starts early, and the rooster was crowing before that.
No, but a lot of times you're going to find it's this. It's like some neighbor who doesn't live in your community, but like lives in the one piece of land that never sold.
Yep.
So like they're allowed
own that
to
property,
because they own that property and they can have
From like
something.
back in like the olden days.
Handed down.
Yeah.
You live in the community, which means you can't have it.
I don't even know who I would complain to. That's the thing.
Do you know who it is that has them?
No, I have an idea because
In general direction.
I think it's the neighbors that just built like a big fence so that you can't see what they're doing in their yard.
Makes sense.
But like, it's not just about the clucking, right? Like, obviously, the clucking and the crowing is ridiculous. And again, like dogs barking, I hear other dogs barking all the time as well. That doesn't even faze me. I hear a rooster crowing, and I'm like, well, this is out of place. This is a bother to me. But that's not the only problem, right? They get like chickens are dirty.
I think
chickens are gross.
I think it's mostly just for the health thing because everybody's so closer together in a subdivision. And so they don't have, even like the chickens don't have the proper space to be okay.
Yeah.
So you have to have a bigger land to be able to take care of them. So I think that's just why.
So you think I can complain?
You should, yeah.
To somebody.
I think you should not complain.
Hey,
what do I call the police?
You should also check the height on their fence.
Yeah, it might be a little too high.
It could be there.
That's right. If there was a
Start
sitcom,
digging them for everything.
If this was a sitcom situation, that's definitely what would happen. Is I can't, for some reason, the chickens are legal, but I find some other legal loophole.
You find something else
to get the HOA involved, even though I don't have an HOA.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can find something, or
Then what if maybe it's I live like right at the county line? You think that could be a part of it? I think they're on the same side as me, but like, what if they straddled it or
No,
something?
well, honestly, a lot of people just, I think during the times where now, especially when eggs were so expensive,
Yeah,
they're like,
that's
well,
right.
Go
These
grab
people
a
were
couple of
ahead of
chickens.
that game.
They're probably working from home
Yes,
too now, so
they
they have
have
more
time.
time. Yeah.
That's a brilliant tie-in. Did you see what we're talking about next? What we were supposed to be talking about here?
What?
Working
Working from home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you want to do that next?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, let's do that next.
And if you own chickens,
If you have chicken advice for me,
Hudson's coming for you.
yeah, 8772 Radio U.
My neighbor was dealt with.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
Now, nobody wants to be in the news more than Hugh Jackman, I feel. He wants attention.
You think so?
I think he really wants attention.
Oh, I think for a while there he was good not having attention.
And now he's back to needing it.
Well, I can't ever tell. Like, is he going to be Wolverine or is he doing this or he's doing that? Like,
Right
I
now-
just don't know what he's doing.
Right now, he's in Wolverine mode.
He is.
He's getting ready to play Wolverine, reprise the role in the new movie Deadpool 3. And so one of the reasons that he had given up the Wolverine mantle, besides he'd been doing it just for a really long time, also is it's so hard to get in Wolverine shape.
Because he's older now.
He's 54 years old. It's not easy for anybody to get in Wolverine shape. Forget about somebody that's 54 years old.
But I feel like there's more pressure because I remember I saw a clip of his Wolverine stuff before like his standalone movies.
Yeah.
And like he wasn't ripped like
No.
when he had his own
He was in
Wolverine
a pretty good
movie.
actor shape, but he wasn't in Wolverine bodybuilder shape. And he's got a tough gig now as Wolverine. I know he gets compensated handsomely, but even like other superheroes, Paul Rudd, he's always wearing that suit. He can look like whatever because he's got an Ant-Man suit on. Wolverine's always got his shirt off for some reason, and not wearing the costume from the comics, which I don't have a problem with. But it's hard to get in Wolverine shape.
Was he bulking?
And so he just tweeted out yesterday all of the food, presumably, that he has been eating every day as he bulks up to get ready to be Wolverine. And so if you total it all up, 8,300 calories is what he's eating a day right now. And to give you an idea, that's like, I'm seeing like 4 larger, like what you would typically expect to have maybe one of your meals in it. 4 of those with what kind of looks like, I guess it's like Chinese kind of food, some have chicken burgers in them. Some have.
There's some noodles.
Yeah, it's ground or grass-fed top sirloin with noodles. And so there's 4 of those. Each of those are over 1,000 calories on their own. And then that's not all though. Then he's got 2 of the like cardboardy containers that you would get, like your leftovers from a restaurant, but they're full to the brim with Patagonia Chinook salmon and sweet and potatoes, and also black bass with veggie rice and herb sauce. And each of those are about 2,000 calories. And so any of these, he's got 6 things. Any of them are your daily value, basically, of calories. And a meal on their own, at least, if not more than that. And he's got to plow through all of that in a day.
And he says it's a day. Like, it's all food prepped for him, so he doesn't have to do any of it, which looks so nice. Can you imagine
Food
if
prepped
someone...
by Chef Mario.
If a chef put together your food during the day.
Oh, man.
I just think it must be shocking then. If he's eating 8,300 calories this day, how much is his workout stuff?
That's right.
How much is he burning
to
through?
burn all of that off that's got to be really something. And I was thinking, like, honestly, forget about the working out. Could I even consume 8,300 calories in this way?
This
in a
is his
day?
job right now. This and working out.
You think you could eat that much in one day?
No.
I don't think
Not
I would.
of healthy food.
Yeah, that's right. If there was an 8,300 calorie burger on
McDonald's,
its own,
yeah, I could do that.
I think I could do that. But when you're eating 8,300 calories of
Good
rice
food.
and vegetables and asparagus, you're eating a lot of stuff that you don't want to eat in the first place.
So you should have brought Isaiah in because I know he bulks up over the wintertime, but I'm always, every time he says that, I'm like, no, you need to be doing.
Yeah, he's not Hugh Jackman
You need to clock
bulking.
in at this many calories if you really want to bulk up.
We got to show this to him. And he needs a chef. He needs Chef Mario.
He needs some help.
We all need Chef Mario.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
I want to talk a little bit about the mullet. You guys think it's making a comeback?
I have seen many people start to have one, so I think it is actually.
It's definitely been back.
Yeah.
I think my roommate told me last night that he wants to get one. Oddly enough, he
For
told
the
me last
summer
night.
season?
Yeah, for the summer season because he has long hair, and so he said he wants to get a mullet for the summer season.
He's got to get a pair of those sunglasses then. The like kind of wraparound, multicolor lenses. Like
yes.
That.
Those have been popular too for a while.
I know those
Those are
go
back
hand
as
in
well.
hand with the mullet. I'm saying.
Eric got a pair of those, and I'm like, I can't walk near you when you're wearing
He
those.
needs a mullet then to
Those
match
are
up with
intense.
those. Okay, it's not just anecdotal. There's actually some data here that says that the mullet movement is making a comeback, and it ties back to, I think, that the idea of there's stuff you see when you're a child growing up and you see like grown-ups doing it. And so then you think it's cool. And then when you become a grown-up, that stuff hasn't been cool for 20 years, but now it's still cool to
cycles
you.
back.
So you want to do it to make it because it was cool when you were a kid. And so I think that's why people are doing it. But here's, I have a survey on mullets and whatever, but I was just thinking, I really don't want to talk about the survey. What I really want to talk about is we've done the show for a while now. Mm-hmm. And the only one who has changed their hair even a little bit is me.
Yeah.
And I think that's time for that to change. I think we all need new hairstyles. We need to spice things up.
Ooh, what do you suggest?
That's what I want to know.
For you?
If I don't know.
Because you wear a hat, I feel like you could be suspected of having a mullet.
That's why
already.
I don't know. I don't know if that would
time.
be different enough.
Yeah.
So I feel like for me, if I was going to do something different, maybe like a flat top.
Oh.
That'd be
Not
way
wear your
different for
hat?
me.
You think you can do that?
That'd be way different for me, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be way different.
It would
That'd be
definitely be
wildly
way
different.
different. Any other suggestions for me?
I think if you colored your hair a different color.
Yeah, why don't you just color it?
Well, it's pretty dark, so it'd be hard to do that.
You could
You
do
could just bleach it.
You could do a nice red or something, a blue.
If I bleached my hair
I think you could bleach it.
and just kept it the same length,
Yeah, exactly.
that would, what would I look like?
And then if you ended up damaging
I'd have to
your
get some of
hair,
those sunglasses.
then you just, cut your hair down and have fun with it.
Just grow it back.
All right, well, listen, I also am the only one that's changed my hair slightly since we've started the show. What about you guys? Isaiah, your hair
I talked about getting a mullet for a while.
You
looks
could totally
nice.
pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had like kind of thicker, wavier hair. So I was thinking about not getting like a long one, but one of the ones that kind of stops like right here in the back, you know?
Around the neck.
And so, yeah, I was thinking about doing a mullet for a while. I just never committed to growing my hair out long enough to actually do it.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have the personality of like, just go for it, you know?
Yeah.
Just try something crazy.
Yeah,
And
so
you should
I don't
do
know.
that.
But like, what else would I do if I wasn't going to do that?
Mohawk.
A mohawk. Now that's crazy
Or
talk.
you want to bring something else back that was popular shortly after the mullet. That thing where you like gel your hair and then make it like flip up in the, you know what I mean?
You mean
Like kind of like a little like awning coming
a
off
spike?
of the, yeah, just
mean
the
just a
spike at the
spike
front of
in
the
the
head.
front?
Is that,
You've really thought of some ideas
I'm
for
trying to come
him.
up with different ideas.
Give me to spike my hair in the front. That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
just in the front.
The wildest
That's
thing I've
the
ever
next
heard.
thing that's going to come back because that was popular when I was a kid, which is after mullets.
Yeah.
So I think that you could bring that back.
You mean to gel my hair in the
You
front?
could be on
no
the
way.
cutting edge of that.
I am against that one. I would rather do the
Nikki,
mullet.
come on. You're with me, right? He should do that.
I think you could do that, and then you could go to like Sam's Club or Costco and get the big gel.
Uh-huh.
My hair's just rock
What is
hard
it? LA
solid.
Looks or something like that?
It's rock solid.
The bucket of gel.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay. And what about Nikki then? What are we going to do for you?
You should dye her
A new
hair.
I'm not
hairstyle.
doing anything. I
Easy.
already dye my hair.
Yeah, dye
I
it
know, so
again.
you need to change it up.
We need some color over there.
But do you know how hard it is once you finally get it to a blonde color? Because my hair is naturally very dark brown.
Yeah.
I could never mess it up because then I'd have to go back to getting it back down to blonde. So I'm afraid that's a no.
What haircut can we give you that would accentuate all the hard
Maybe you
work
could do like a
put in?
bob. Have you ever thought about a bob?
Yeah, I think a bob could work.
I think that's a good idea.
I feel like hair feels like a security blanket, and that would be cutting the blanket away.
That would be cutting a lot of
bowl
blankets.
cut. You want to try a bowl cut?
bowl cut.
Any of us
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah, all right. I'm writing all this down because maybe this will be an idea.
I think Nikki's hair is very personal.
It seems very personal.
Yeah, there's other things she might change, not the hair.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah,
or
well-
I could be the one. They say mullets are back for guys, but then maybe I could just shave a little side thing.
Yeah,
serve a win.
I could do that.
There you go, a pioneer. I like it.
Because I love people staring at me.
Yeah,
so.
you love attention.
What if you get a perm?
Oh, I used to have a perm when I was younger.
Ooh,
Really?
See, try it again.
There we
could.
go.
Try it again.
Yeah,
Bring it back.
That'll ruin hair along with coloring it.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.